Tonight,
We don't have the money.
a family returns to China after a Saskatoon immigration scheme left them broke. 40 firefighters work to bring a massive fire east of downtown Regina under control. A Regina woman gets ready to represent Canada at the Pickleball World Cup.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It is Tuesday, October 14th, and the CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. Hi there, thanks for watching. A Chinese family came to Saskatoon chasing their dream of a life in Canada, but instead they got caught in what they call an immigration nightmare. Now they're out tens of thousands of dollars. Aishwarya Duda has the story.
We don't have the money.
Financially devastated and heartbroken, that's not how Ting Ting Bao expected her Canadian dream to turn out. In January, she and her family came from China to Canada on tourist visas, but the school teacher wanted to find a way to stay.
When my daughter was born, maybe 6 years ago, we want to go to Canada.
Bao turned to this Saskatoon immigration agency for help. Here she met Jun Su, who gave her the immigration advice. The woman offered what appeared to be a clear path to permanent residency. The price tag, $110,000. Experts say that's 10 times the typical cost.
We lost our whole money, and we no food to give my daughter.
Bao signed this contract with Su, but experts say Su gave advice that would not lead to permanent residency. Bao's work permit application was later denied, and her job didn't even qualify for a permanent residency pathway at the time. After more bad advice, Bao walked away. In total, she paid $40,000.
Chinese people cheat our money, lied to us.
Then Bao learned Su isn't even licensed. Bao and her husband confronted Su. They even went to her house demanding a refund. The police made them leave.
She said, 滚. Yes, go out.
Su declined CBC's request for an on-camera interview. In an emailed statement, Su alleges Bao and her family have damaged her reputation. She says she simply assists her husband, Zheng Tao Liu, who CBC has confirmed is a licensed consultant. The College of Immigration and Citizenship Consultants regulates agents. It says since Su is not licensed, she cannot charge money for immigration advice. And beyond that, any fees must be reasonable. Su says Canada's free market allows her to set her own fees.
It's an open, wild west when it comes to consultants.
This expert says the regulations are lax and there's not enough enforcement.
The guidance was incorrect. So in a sense, it's a misdirection. But there's a deeper problem that relates to what you're paid to do. Properly advise people to get that path to permanent residence.
Say hi.
Instead of a new life in Canada, Bao is now back in China, haunted by nightmares.
In the dream, I'm crying. My husband shaking me. Wake up. And I'm in crying dream.
Mom can't get the money.
Sad, angry, and hoping her story stops others from losing money and their future. Aishwarya Duda, CBC News, Saskatoon.
The Regina Police Service has a new safety initiative to address online marketplace crime. Police say there's been an uptick in robbery, fraud, and other crimes related to online transactions. This year, police have received 75 reports from people selling things online. And now, police are offering a new safe transaction zone, a place to meet up for marketplace transactions.
We see a lot of reports where somebody meets, in the middle of nowhere, in a parking lot, in a vacant, parking lot. And sometimes in those instances, it turns into something like a robbery or a theft or a fraud. And so we just think if we can provide this opportunity for people to be able to participate in online buy and sells in a little bit of a safer manner, we're happy to do it.
2 stalls in front of the police station are now marked as this safe zone. They'll be monitored 24/7 with cameras and lighting. Police say you should report safety and fraud concerns. A national women's group is giving a voice to a social problem often kept behind closed doors. The Canadian Royal Purple is making the connection between intimate partner violence and brain injuries. Lisa Rissom explains.
But the women and children have to flee to safety.
Frontline workers at the Prince Albert Safe Shelter help people fleeing domestic violence. Brenda Lee Pellerin says all too often women have been strangled or taken blows to the head. They have trouble thinking or feel tired and depressed, but don't realize it's a brain injury.
He would abuse her by using a 2x4 and hitting her in the head. And she made no connection because of the injuries. She made no connection to maybe possibly having, a swelled brain or a brain bleed.
According to the latest Stats Canada data, 4 out of 10 women in Canada experience intimate partner violence. Of those, the majority will suffer head trauma. Researchers say brain injuries from domestic violence often go undiagnosed.
Typically because there's barriers to seeking out appropriate care. The healthcare providers don't necessarily have enough knowledge of the potential intersection.
Those statistics hit home with Angie Smith, a vice president of the Canadian Royal Purple. Physical abuse from a partner left her deaf in one ear. Now the Royal Purple is shifting the focus of its national brain injury campaign to show the correlation between brain injuries and intimate partner violence.
I was dizzy, I had vision problems. Doctors dismissed it. It was a small town. We didn't really have a lot of resources. And it took me probably 15 plus years to realize that I had a brain injury.
The Royal Purple is distributing 5,000 care bags to shelters across Canada. Each bag contains brain injury and domestic violence pamphlets to better inform victims.
Because every one of these brain injuries caused by intimate partner violence is 100% preventable. You just have to stop the violence.
Pellerin says people leaving an abusive relationship can make an exit plan by contacting their local shelter, police, or medical professional. Lisa Rissom, CBC News, Prince Albert.
'Tis the season. This season's influenza and COVID-19 shots are now available in Saskatchewan. Residents who are 6 months old and older are eligible for both shots. The SHA says so far more than 11,000 people have already booked an appointment. The vaccinations are free. The health authority is encouraging people to get vaccinated to help stop the spread of respiratory illnesses.
We encourage everybody to come forward and bring their family, their children, talk to your community health nurse managers, and vaccines are available. You can book your appointment for the family. And I think it's just not the individual protection. If you get a flu vaccine, you not only protect yourself, you protect your family, and you protect your community.
For appointments, you can book online through the SHA's website. You can also get your vaccinations through your doctor or by heading to a medical clinic. Shots are also available at some participating pharmacies. A dramatic scene just east of downtown Regina Monday night. An apartment building under construction on Victoria Avenue was completely destroyed by a massive fire. As Jeremy Warren reports, it took about 40 firefighters to get the blaze under control.
A large fire at a construction site in Regina kept firefighters busy on Thanksgiving Day. It started around 9 o'clock Monday night on Victoria Avenue between Halifax and St. John's Streets. Multiple buildings were on fire with flames shooting high in the sky. The fire destroyed an apartment complex under construction on the block. The Regina Fire Department says the 2-story structure was at the framing stage and mostly wood.
It was a significant fire with a lot of raw building materials. It doesn't take long for that to get going and create a very large, hot fire.
Real estate listings for the block show a plan for an 18-unit apartment building there, priced at nearly $5 million. 2 houses beside the construction site were also damaged. We're told both of them were vacant at the time. Fire crews were on scene until 2 o'clock Tuesday morning. Investigators are now working to determine what started the fire.
It is quite a large fire scene, so we will be working to clear the structure to make sure there's no one injured or inside the structure, and we'll also be beginning the investigation to determine cause.
No injuries were reported, and as of Tuesday morning, traffic is back to normal on Victoria Avenue. Jeremy Warren, CBC News, Saskatoon.
The solar farm project near the Montgomery neighborhood in Saskatoon is coming along. The 2.8 megawatt solar project is being built on about 14 acres of land between the CN Railway tracks and Circle Drive South Freeway east of Dundonald Avenue. When it's done, the $3.3 million project will have 5,000 solar panels and will power more than 400 homes. We'll be back after the break. We're learning more details about a civil lawsuit over alleged fraud at a Regina car dealership. Go-To Auto filed the lawsuit at Court of King's Bench in Regina last month. Go-To Auto is another dealership in Regina. Its lawsuit accuses Agri and Stephanie Finn, the owners of Rev Automotive Group, of operating a Ponzi scheme and defrauding Go-To Auto of nearly $950,000. Rev is alleged to have sold vehicles that either did not exist or had already been sold to other customers. Go-To Auto is suing for a payback of the money, damages, punitive damages, interest, and legal costs. Back in May, Regina police jointly charged the couple with fraud over $5,000 and laundering the proceeds of crime. At the time, police alleged evidence of money laundering and fraud totaling millions of dollars. Those claims have not been tested in court. Canadian Tire says it's identified a data breach involving customer information in its e-commerce database. It goes back to an incident on October 2nd. The retailer says the breach data belongs to shoppers who had an e-commerce account with Canadian Tire or its other banners, Sport Chek, Marks, and Party City. Those customers whose information was stolen will be contacted and offered credit monitoring. The company is also reminding shoppers to use strong, unique passwords. Canadian lumber is taking another hit from U.S. President Donald Trump's trade war. New tariffs announced last month are now in effect. This is a global tariff of 10% on all softwood lumber and timber entering the United States. That's in addition to the 35% duty on Canadian softwood that was already in place. Some finished wood products like cabinets, vanities, and upholstered furniture also being hit. They will face a 25% tariff, which is set to go up again on January 1st. And our weather specialist Ethan Williams joins me now. We had a bit of a winter wonderland Thanksgiving weekend.
We sure did. We're talking about highways that were impacted by some very snowy, wintry weather. We got some rain mixed in with that snow as well. And in some parts of Saskatchewan, it was enough snow to shovel. I want to show you a couple of photos that we got here from our very own Nicole Huck, who is up in Porcupine Hills Provincial Park, kind of just to north of, or around the area rather, of Hudson Bay. Look at that. Enough snow that you really could make a snowman out there in Porcupine Hills Provincial Park, and some much needed shoveling being done in that area as well. Parts of that area of the province saw as much as maybe 15 centimeters of snow in some spots. The Pelican Narrows area especially picking up some heavier amounts. Nipawin around 10 centimeters along with Hudson Bay. Regina and Saskatoon, of course, we got the snow as well, but some of that falling as rain, first of all, and between the snow kind of melted down and the rain there, Regina saw nearly 30 millimeters total. The system is out of the way now, but in its wake, we are left with some pretty chilly temperatures. Remember, we were talking about 20 degrees just less than a week ago? Well, now we're only talking about single-digit daytime highs in much of the province, actually. The good news is that we're not really seeing a whole lot of activity on radar. We had some showers and flurry activity in the south a little bit earlier Tuesday, but that started to move out and the clouds have actually started to clear away as we've gone into the evening. That will likely continue for central and some northern sections of the province, but for southern Saskatchewan, expect another cloudy day as we head into Wednesday, with the possibility of some showers moving in for Wednesday. A few of those may turn to snow flurries, but it's really as we get into Wednesday evening that we'll look for some more significant rain through south central and extreme southeastern portions before we watch for our next weather maker, a Colorado low, which is moving up. Thankfully, I think bringing mostly rain instead of snow, but it could be some heavier amounts of rain as we get especially into Friday, not ruling out maybe 20 to 40 millimeters in that southeast corner, some areas that have already received quite a bit of rain over these past couple of days or so. But the good news is, even though we are going to be getting the rainfall, it looks like at least in advance of that system, winds aren't going to be picking up all that much. So even though temperatures will be a little bit on the cooler side, we won't add too much of a wind chill factor. And temperatures, well, we'll be talking about probably single digits for most of the next 7 days in both Regina and Saskatoon. Regina, we're thinking about maybe 5 to 10 millimeters from that system Thursday night into Friday before things nicely clear out for the weekend. But you'll notice a real theme there with the wind over the next few days, at times gusting near 60 kilometers an hour. Saskatoon, less of a threat in terms of rain and snow for us folks here. As we get into Friday, though, we'll watch for maybe some showers and flurries at times. Double-digit temperatures for the weekend before we return to single digits as we get into Monday and Tuesday with that wind picking up. So feeling like winter, Sam, over the long weekend. Now seems we're more steadily feeling like fall.
All right. Thanks, Ethan.
You're welcome.
Pickleball is the world's fastest growing sport, so much so that the Pickleball World Cup is coming up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And a woman from Regina will be representing Canada there. We caught up with her to learn more about the journey.
I do not have a racket sport background. I wish I did. I played basketball for university. I lived in England, in London, England, for 4 years, and I played basketball, but I had never played any racket sport until I picked up the pickleball paddle. I learned to play in 2014 in the States. I went to check out the sport on behalf of my mother-in-law. She sent me over there, said, just see what it's like and if it's something that I will enjoy. And it took her about 6 years to go and do it for herself, but since I'd gone there, I got hooked instantly and never looked back. I wish I could play more, honestly, because I coach as well, so there is the time that I dedicate to coaching, where I could be playing, but I would say I'd dedicate about 6 to 8 hours a week to playing and also training.
She's a really strong player. She's amazing, obviously, being at the national level, but secondly, she's a really good teacher. She really understands the game well, and to be able to articulate that and break it down.
A lot of it obviously is being physically prepared. So I am training as much as I can, trying to eliminate errors, trying to be flawless, consistent. Mentally, it's just that rigor and determination, resilience to come up with good decisions as you face the opponents. It's a huge honor. I've only lived in Canada for 10 years, so I came here 10 years ago. And to not just play the sport competitively, but to get picked to represent the country on an international level, it's a huge honor. And I'm very proud to represent Saskatchewan.
Everyone here is always so excited about how Anna is doing. We all feel really lucky to have someone of her caliber in our city, and so we kind of live vicariously through her pickleball achievements. We're all really proud of her.
The ladies have really come together to support me and encourage me on this journey. It's really, it really means a lot to me to know that people are rooting for me, that people have my back, that people believe in me.
Blanco from not going, and it's hit hard by Naylor to right field, and it is gone. Another home run for the Mariners.
Josh Naylor, who was born and raised in Mississauga, Ontario, belts a 2-run homer in the 7th inning to give the Seattle Mariners a 9-3 lead, capping a very disappointing night for the Blue Jays. Mariners win this one 10-3 and take a 2-game lead in the American League Championship Series. The Jays still have a chance to turn things around. Game 3 goes in Seattle on Wednesday. We'll be back after the break. The Saskatchewan Roughriders locked up 2 key members of their organization on Tuesday. Head coach Corey Mace and general manager Jeremy O'Day have signed 2-year contract extensions. Mace is in his 2nd season as head coach for the Riders. He led the team to the West Final in his 1st season, and this season the team is 12-4. The Riders bench boss says his decision to re-sign was an easy one.
For my family and I to be able to stay here in Regina and represent this team, and you know, it was such an easy, obviously, decision, right? We love it here. We love the community, and Rider Nation's been really good to us. So just extremely grateful for, you know, everybody that went into that decision. Obviously, Craig Reynolds and, you know, even J.O., and just for the opportunity.
The extensions come after the Riders clinched the top spot in the Western Division over the weekend. That means the Riders will get the all-important bye week and host the Western Final. That game will be played Saturday, November 8th at Mosaic Stadium. Next up for the Riders, a trip to Winnipeg to take on the Bombers on Friday night. And Ethan is back with one last look at your weather.
And I'm hoping that, you know, it may not be Rider green, but at least it's a forest green. Will help the Riders as they get toward the end of their regular season here. Despite the fact that we've been feeling a lot like winter, our temperatures will actually be a little bit warmer overnight. Let's take a look at what we're expecting through south and central Saskatchewan. A lot of us, especially in the south, lots of cloud cover still in place, so we'll be just slightly above the freezing mark. Into Saskatoon and central areas, though, where we're getting some clearing, that's where we are looking for those temperatures dropping back below freezing. Some wind chills making that feel closer to -10 at times. Fairly a mild night as we go into northern Saskatchewan. Comparatively for this time of year, you should be down around -5 for those overnight lows. And into tomorrow morning, already we're looking at temperatures above the freezing mark. Some cloud cover increasing through the day in some regions, but I think we'll steer fairly clear of any significant moisture up in the north. In south and central, though, especially through southern Saskatchewan, we continue to look for cloudy skies through much of Wednesday as southwestern and much of central areas continue to clear out. And watch out for a few showers in extreme southern areas as we get into Wednesday afternoon. And Sam, a few of those may turn to some flurries at times, so we'll be watching for that, but thankfully no significant moisture.
All right, more shovel looking it is.
It seems that way, yes.
Thanks, Ethan.
You bet.
All right, that is it for us. For more news anytime, you can always head to cbc.ca/Sask or subscribe to CBC Saskatchewan's YouTube channel or download the CBC News app on your smartphone. Thanks for watching.